So, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I forgot to unmute my mic. I don't know why I keep forgetting to do that. But I apologize again. So, let me say good evening and welcome to those who are already in tune to Let's Get Real on another Sunday night. And it's always a pleasure being here. And I just want to let you guys know. Yes, folks, I'm getting the messages. No sound. Yeah, I forgot to unmute my microphone. So I think I'm good to go now. Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, last week, Sunday, I want to apologize because we weren't able to bring you the show. And that was due to the fact that I had another engagement on Sunday. And that was the Willful, Skillful cricket tournament over at Molyneux. And that was very exciting. It was good to be back outside, good to be around people again and watching some exciting cricket. And so we weren't able to bring you last week's episode, and we do apologize for that. However, going forward, we will be sure to make sure that the Sunday schedules are clear. I had an engagement today, but that ended early enough for me to get here and to do the show today. So as we kick things off, we would want to say welcome once again. And those of you who are viewing on the web page, we thank you so much for joining us. Please share, and don't stop sharing until you see your friends and your family here. Don't let a little nigga come the other way. There's going to be problems because we got big people things to talk about. Yeah? All right. Good. So, yeah, we're up and running. Big ups to my sister, Mrs. Brown. It's always good to see you in tune. Jeff Pemberton, big up yourself as well. Folks, be sure to comment. If you want to send in a question, you can send me a WhatsApp message to 663-2354. Wherever you are, just drop me a WhatsApp. If there's a question that you want to ask or something that you would like for me to address, you can definitely do so. So tonight's show, we are going to be talking about cryptocurrency. And I'm informed there's something called blockchain. I don't know anything about these things. And so tonight I will be just like you, the audience, learning what's up with all of this new stuff that's coming about. As a matter of fact, that was the basis of the conversation are making the rounds on social media as well as on the radio stations. Just yesterday, Saturday, I had a very interesting conversation on Win FM with Miss Desi Brown, Gian Williams, and Dr. Joel Clark, who you know is a senator in our parliament. And the conversation centered around evolving our economy, changing our economy, moving and shifting with the times, a paradigm, so to speak, in the right direction as we come out of COVID. I'm not sure how many of you have been paying attention, but COVID-19, this pandemic, has illuminated or highlighted a lot of the inefficiencies that we have here in our economy. And so we are going to have to buckle down and we are going to have to readjust ourselves, not only as a country, but as a people. So many people are out of work. The tourism industry was hit hard. The entertainment industry took some serious blows, and some of those people are still out of work. There was a job fair, I think it was at Park Hyatt sometime this week, and if you see the kind of numbers that were down there, it just shows you that there are lots of people who are out of work. And so we are going to have to dig deep, and there has to be some form of leadership that leads us out of this. I mean, people can do what they can do on their own, but ultimately the government and the government policies is what guides development along with the private sector. So we are going to have to do some serious adjusting coming out of this pandemic. And I hope that the people of St. Kitts and Nevis are prepared for it. Because if you are not prepared, then ultimately you will definitely fall by the wayside. So I would encourage all to be as innovative as they possibly can. Look around and see where you yourself could be innovative and put on your thinking caps, readjust your focus if it is that you have to go into a different field, reshift your studies, whatever it is. You're just gonna have to get that done. I would encourage all those who are probably going off to seek higher learning that you have to more or less maybe rethink your steps, so to speak. Look at what the job market is seeking at this time, and see how best your studies coincide with that, and how much of an impact you can make, how much money you can make. And that's a point that Dr. Joel Clark made on the alarm clock and Insider News on Win FM on Saturday. So for those of you who may want to check that out, you can definitely tune in. It's on demand, and see where we're going with this. So again, it's something that we all have to be mindful of coming out of this pandemic, and if we can, definitely make a shift. And I think at this point in time, we can get our conversation started. As I told you, we are going to be talking about cryptocurrency today. It's another form of investing your monies, or finding ways to invest and making monies. And we have a panel with us this evening, and these people are versed in this kind of thing. And so, just to let you know, there are Mr. Barton Adams. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Levar Went. I hope I pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, I apologize. And we'll get them up on the board to do that. And of course, my good auntie, Miss Janelle Tracy Mason. So we'll be bringing those guys in on the show in the next minute or so. So again, folks, stay tuned, and our conversation is going to be a very interesting one. If you know there's anybody out there who's interested in cryptocurrency and that kind of thing, you can definitely share the link with them and tell them to tune in. So, folks, sit tight, and we will be right back with our guests to get our show for this Sunday started. Stay with us.
Hi.
Yes, welcome, welcome. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I had my mic muted. I'm sorry.
All right. Yes, you can begin to unmute your mics, folks. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Let's Get Real. I'm your host, Mr. Maurice E.K. Flanders, but you can just call me E.K. for short. That will do just fine. So around the table, lady and gentlemen, can you just introduce yourself and just give us a little insight into what we'll be talking about this evening on Let's Get Real?
All right. John, you want me to take that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, hi, Ike. Nice to be here, my brother. And, appreciate the opportunity to just kind of have this discussion. So, basically, what we're going to be focusing on tonight is just the benefits and the uses of the crypto industry, of blockchain, and just kind of having a discussion around, the importance of it and why a lot more persons should be paying attention to it, especially with the state of the economy right now and the way and the direction that the world is going in. A lot of people are missing out on opportunities, and they really don't even understand what it is or how to tap into it and how it could really be life changing. So I could say it's more of a educational type of discussion, just to make people more aware of what's actually around them that they don't have a clue about, that could actually be life changing, and really and truly is the direction that the future is going in when it comes to finances and technology and so on. So it's just to kind of get persons aware of what is crypto, what is blockchain, why we need to pay attention to it. Yep.
Okay, I guess I'll jump in next. Sorry. I'm Barton. I'm in Brooklyn, New York. And at this time right now, I am a blockchain community builder and expanding a team worldwide with an excellent community and excellent leaders and people in the field of blockchain and crypto.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Janelle. Most of you know me as Tracy. I too am involved in the blockchain community building with the guys here on the line, Baton and Livia. I have been dabbling in blockchain since about 2017, so that's a couple of years now, and so I have some experience in what to do and what to look out for and how folks could benefit from what's going on in the blockchain and crypto community today.
All right. So let's go a little deeper into it. I know you gave your brief introduction and whatnot, but let's go dig a little deeper into it, because I have been talking to a couple of people about this, and they're wondering about the safety and security and the viability of getting into this. Because as you know, the whole cryptocurrency thing, I mean, it is not hard money, so to speak, that people can, feel and touch. At least that's what I'm getting from them. And I myself was wondering about that. So if anybody could explain to us exactly how this community works, what makes it valuable, what makes it tick, what makes it go. Is your money secure when you invest into this?
All right. So actually, one of the reasons that a lot of banks and financial institutions, EK, are starting to pay attention to blockchain is for that point exactly, because of the security that it brings. Mm-hmm. Let me give you a scenario. Normally, in general transactions, you would have one entity sends money from themselves to another entity. And what happens is there's pretty much a lot of red tape that has to happen, but there's also sometimes very few verification points that you have. And because of that, you sometimes get a situation where one entity says, but I sent X amount. The other entity says, we didn't get that. Mm-hmm. Or you end up with countries, if you're looking at it on a bigger scale, where there's a lot of corruption. Money somehow just disappeared. And then you've always got this corruption talk that comes up, because money that was supposed to have been sent for one purpose somehow magically disappears into thin air, and then all kind of officials are trying to figure out what happened. The whole purpose, or at least one of the primary purposes of blockchain, is specifically for security, which is why, like I said, banks, even the ECCB bank, where they just brought out their Digi Cash, even they are now working with blockchain technology because of the enhanced security that it has. And if I were to give you a somewhat of a visual idea as to how blockchain works, imagine that you're requesting a transaction, EK. So basically, you request a transaction, that transaction is held in what we call a block. All right. Now, that block, before it is validated, before it's sent out, it has to pass through a number of verification points, what we call nodes. So, in other words, you can't just send your transaction and one person says, yep, transaction is good. Multiple different independent fact checkers, so to speak, or verification points, unrelated, globally, each have to look at that transaction and they each have to pass it and verify and say, yes, this transaction looks good. Then it passes on to the other one. Does it look good? Yes. So after it does that, and it has multiple confirmations from multiple independent fact checkers and verifiers, then that transaction is added to the block, hence the term blockchain, or it's added to the chain, I should say. All right. Mm-hmm. So now you have the block, which is the verification, has been independently verified by multiple sources before it is added to the chain, and then it's validated, executed, and passed on to the recipient. So purely from a basic standpoint of blockchain and what it is, trust and transparency are one of the primary factors of blockchain technology, and that is why so many financial institutions are starting to integrate it now into their systems, because it creates a space for much more transparency and much less transactions. Much less, not transactions, the word that I used before.
What's corruption?
Corruption. Much
right.
Corruption. Correct. So that's pretty much how blockchain in itself works, basically.
Okay. I think I got a pretty good understanding of that. But how does the currency works though? How does it get its value?
All right. Well, I'll let Barton. I'll let you slide in with that one.
I'll jump in that. It gets its value primarily when we look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin we can consider as something similar as gold. You know, gold is not necessarily a utility. It's something that people have faith in, and it has that store of value. So in the case of Bitcoin being the first cryptocurrency, it has its value because people understand the benefit that Coach Veer just mentioned about where they can store digitally their value and have control over it and have trust and transparency. However, since that time, there's other cryptocurrencies that are utility coins. For example, Ethereum. When we say utility coin, the coin itself has a function as opposed to just a store of value. So with Ethereum has things called a smart contract built into it. So what that does is it kind of has a computer program where if you and I enter into an agreement and it says if you do A, then, you know, and I do B, then the result is C, which can be a transaction of value. That's built into that contract, and no one can get out of that. As long as you do what the contract states that you do and I do, particularly, let's say, in buying a piece of property, the Ethereum as a utility coin has the potentiality to actually change the game with real estate, where usually when you have a closing, you have everybody there signing all type of agreements and certifying things. Well, inside of the Ethereum contract, they can build all of those functions inside that contract to where once all parties, fulfill their agreement, then the contract is sealed. So that is where blockchain is creating more value when you have utility coins entering the space, as opposed to like Dogecoin or something where people are just buying it because a billionaire or a certain celebrity says that they're getting it, then people get it on that level. But there are many coins now entering the space, and it brings a great opportunity for the digitization of currency and from fiat into currency in different asset classes.
Okay, but how do you choose which coin to get yourself involved in? Because there's so many. So how do you choose? What are some of the criteria by which an individual can say, hey, I have to check this, and this. And if this coin doesn't meet this criteria, that criteria, then I'm going to choose. So how do you go about that?
Well, you go about it very similar to how people go about, stocks and bonds. You do your due diligence on a coin. You just don't take the word, or the advertisement about the coin. You can, do your due diligence, speak to some, people that read some articles about it, watch it in the charts, things of that nature, and then make your decision if that's something that you want to buy. Like I said, right now, people kind of buy coins from just like the advertisement of celebrities or or word of mouth. People say, hey, this new coin is coming out, or maybe a past friend's experience where he bought the coin at $200 and it's now $4,000. And those are the things. So people just need to just be careful and just do their due diligence on the coins that they may want to purchase. And then, they can always sell when they feel they want to get out, and they can always buy when they want to get in.
Just to piggyback off of what Barton and Levere just said, EK to me it's just a personal decision. You can't really say, okay, we're not financial advisors here, so we can't just say, oh, go out and buy this coin. You do your own due diligence. Look at what coins are the most popular coins. Personally, from experience, I would say Bitcoin is the most popular coin, followed by Ethereum. I mean, I think Bitcoin was launched in 2009. When it was first released, it was about 50 coins. Back then, I got involved. I bought my first piece of Bitcoin, I think around 117 US. At that time, Bitcoin was worth $1,200. And I remember myself and Levere and some other folks here who were having a series of meetings at the Marriott talking about Bitcoin and so forth, and as well as Ethereum, which was launched in 2014. Back then, right now, as Ethereum is worth, its value is over $4,000, while Bitcoin's value clocks around $63,000. Now, with the blockchain technology, when I first heard of it, I knew nothing. I read, I did my own due diligence. I think it was a few years ago. I work at CFBC as well in the technology department, and myself and my supervisor had the opportunity to go to a seminar at the central bank where they first started talking about blockchain. I personally had a conversation with the governor, and he said that they were thinking about it, and I think it was this year, April 2021. ECCB launched their own digital currency, which is called Digi Cash, which is what Livia just said before. And in that launch, the governor, his words were, the future of the EC dollars is digital, so let's make history together. Now, DigiCash is only in about 4 countries. I think it's Antigua, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, and Grenada so far. It has not made its name out there as yet, such as Bitcoin and the others, but eventually it will, because that's the direction in which we're heading. So for me, it's just a personal choice. You go out there, you look, maybe subscribe to the blockchain.com newsletter, look at what coins are stable, and you make your decision on what to buy, because the value of the coin keeps rising.
Mm-hmm. And that's due to more and more people signing on. I'm
yes,
guessing.
the more people, right? Supply and demand affects it. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I'm still kind of skeptical. I guess because it's new.
as with anything,
I don't know it, because I am a little bit, always consider myself a learner. I do not know everything. I keep learning.
Right.
Yeah. As with anything, it's expected that there's going to be a matter of fear. There's going to be a matter of uncertainty, because it's new. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about it, when the internet first came out, a lot of people didn't understand what the internet was. Didn't understand it. It didn't make sense. You hearing about emails, being able to send an email in a second to someone, over the other end of the world. It didn't make sense. People were used to fax machines.
Right.
So the same way that at first when the internet came in and it was not understood, there was fear, there was doubt. I mean, for crying out loud, if you think about it, back in 2000, there was the Y2K bug, right? Everybody's thought that when everything switches to 2000, everything's going to shut down. Computers won't know what to do. So it's expected it's going to be fear and uncertainty. And the thing about that is people fear what they don't understand, right? People fear what they don't understand. So when sometimes you hear persons talking about crypto, not necessarily in a positive way, they're negative, or they say, oh, that stuff, that's a scam. I believe a person who talks about scam, S-C-A-M, they're still confused about money. So it's expected. And I understand that, right? They're still confused. But the reality is this. The world is changing. And whether or not we understand it or we even believe in it, the fact of the matter is it's happening. And it's going to keep happening. Technology is going to continue to advance. And cryptocurrency is the currency of the future, right? And that's just facts. Some persons may not want to accept that. It doesn't change the fact that it's facts, and it's happening already. Actually, some of the largest companies that we know about are already accepting crypto. PayPal already accepting crypto. Expedia for travel already accepting crypto, Bitcoin. You got Microsoft. You've got multiple different businesses starting to accept it and utilize it. Did you notice, Ike, that El Salvador they just became the world's first country to change their entire national currency from fiat currency to Bitcoin? I'm not sure if you're aware of that. They're the first official country, their entire national currency. No more dollars and cents, all Bitcoin. And since they've done that, that country has been saving between $600,000 to $1 million in commissions, right? Doing remittances and so on per day.
But how does that affect trade though? Because you know some of these countries like the big traders, you have China, you have America.
Yes.
How does it affect trade between these countries? Because America would still want to hold on to the US dollar, China to the yen. So how does it affect trade though?
I'll kick off and then I'll let Barton ease in on this as well. Here's the thing. Again, right now there's a whole movement when it comes to cryptocurrency. In terms of trade, for now, yes, fiat currency is still the primary currency of trade. And for those who don't understand what fiat is, fiat currency basically refers to any currency that is not digital, any currency that is not crypto, whether it's pounds, whether it's US dollars, whether it's rubies, whatever currency there is, yen, that's all considered fiat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But what's happening is slowly we're starting to see a conversion, a greater acceptance and mass adoption of crypto. Now, I'm not saying that within the next year or two, everything is going to switch to crypto. What I will say is this: banks have already started to say that, look, within a period of 5 years, it's possible that crypto is going to replace fiat. Now, that's not my opinion. That's not my words. That's what the banks have been saying. They say that it's going to replace it. Even banks like Morgan Stanley, one of the biggest banks out there, that at first was against Bitcoin. Oh, man, we don't want no Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is this and Bitcoin is that. No, guess who's buying up a ton of Bitcoin? Right? So, I'll tell you this, and this is my opinion, all right? It's just a personal opinion. You know when banks are really going to start to go with this? When they have found a way to make money from it. Banks have no problem with the changes because they know they can't stop it. It's going to happen. Because the thing about crypto is it's decentralized. It's not a centralized thing, it's decentralized. So the people get the power. The people control it. But if banks can figure out a way that they can benefit from it, it's going to happen. all that I think they're doing is stalling until they can figure out how can we put certain laws and bylaws in place that when this thing becomes globally adopted and mass and accepted across the globe in a major way, how can we be in position that we can benefit from it? Banks know that they're losing because why would you need to go to a bank if you can do transactions in crypto, if you can get loans in crypto? Like a platform that we're all part of right now, a community that has a platform that literally gives loans, right? Actual loans backed by crypto, right? So the world is changing, man, and it's not going to slow down. We just see what's happening with Facebook. Facebook is about to be accepting crypto as well. Well, what is it called? Meta. Meta is going to be accepting crypto as well.
Yeah.
So that tells you everything is changing. If you look at it, digital, all businesses right now, and anyone can understand this. Every business right now has either a Facebook page, an Instagram page, a YouTube channel, WhatsApp. So what does that tell you? That every business right now understands the importance of having a digitally connected space, to be in that space. Because they can see we've gone from brick and mortar type business to click and order. Everything's being done online now. Everything's digital now. And this is what people have to, whether they want to or they don't, it's coming. And I think the most important part, which is why we're doing this, is to kind of get people prepared mentally for what is coming, because a lot of folks still in denial. A lot of folks still in denial, and they will be left behind if they don't.
I think when it comes down to eliminating some of the transactional costs that is associated with moving money from point A to point B, I think more people will be comfortable with that, because to transfer or Western Union somebody $100 US.
There you go. There you go.
So
there you go. And I stand up in a line just to send a couple. You stand up in a line for half hour to hour to send or receive funds, when you can just stay, pick your cell phone up, done,
and send it.
Western Union, MoneyGram, they're gonna be done with. It's only a matter of time. They're gonna be done with.
Unless, of course, they could trade in the same digital coins. But how do you think the banks would be able to capitalize on it and make money from it when, to me per se, the transaction is instant? There's no middleman, so to speak, from me to you. Do you think that the financial giants like America, for instance, I have to keep coming back to these people, because remember recently in the Caribbean, all of us had to sign on to this FATCA business, right? Where they wanted complete oversight of people's accounts who did transactions with their citizens, and so at the end of the day, how will this all play out? That I think I'm still stuck on the question. I don't know why.
Well, I can jump in on that. The way the banks have already started to capitalize on this is here in America, Fidelity now there's an app. I won't mention the company, but there's an app that partnered with Fidelity to where now you can store your IRA and your 401k in crypto.
Okay.
So instead of letting someone else maybe trade your IRA, if you believe that a certain coin is going to go up, you can then put that coin into your IRA. And if that coin exponentially goes up, you may beat the market, that if you would have had it in stocks and bonds. So that's one vehicle. The other vehicle is there are something called exchanges. When in crypto, you have a wallet, and that's sort of like your bank account. That's your digital bank account that you own and you can transact with. But then there's exchanges where if you have one coin and you might want to exchange it for another coin. So those exchanges have small fees. They just don't have fees at the rate that banks have been, charging customers. So so they still have a space to come in, and they have JP Morgan, Chase, like I said, Fidelity, and countless others are now jumping on the bandwagon like immediately. and just capitalize it because they see that as an asset, things are moving from the banks to crypto. And that was one of the benefits that when they created Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is a thing like I can text you, I can send you an email with content, right? With proprietary content or whatever from you and I company, but you and I couldn't send money to each other through an email. We had to go through a central bank, and then from that central bank, then it goes to your bank in your country, right? And so this is where the cryptocurrency said, you know what, we don't need that. We can just go straight across. So the thing of going through the central bank was like Coach Veers had said a little earlier, was that's where you can have corruption, or you can kind of maneuver on, the mathematics of what's going through. But when you have trust and transparency with the blockchain technology, don't forget, cryptocurrency is like email is to the cryptocurrency to blockchain is like what email was to the internet. We're having a conversation about something so small right now, but when the technology expands 20 years from now, it will just be amazing from the technology that blockchain is providing, So cryptocurrency is just that part of the currency of it, but it's incredible. So the banks will find a way to adopt, and regulators will make it, hopefully make it fair for everybody and keep it trustful and transparent.
Okay, so let's talk about the trustful and transparency, because I have to throw this word in here: money laundering.
Yeah.
Now, the issues that they have had in the past with the money laundering is that people were trying to evade taxes by, funneling money into an offshore account, or funneling money to a shell company, or, just shifting their finances around, or even financing terrorism. These are some of the words that you hear being thrown around on the mainstream media. So how does cryptocurrency avail itself of those kind of corrupt practices?
Well, first of all, I'm glad you said that the media was throwing it around, because I believe, my personal opinion, that the media was throws that around to try to divert people from using it.
Right.
Okay. So they come up with these excuses, but there's more trust and transparency because blockchain is a public ledger. Everything that you do on blockchain gets recorded. Where through the central banks, we don't necessarily have to see. They can change their books or manipulate their books. But with blockchain, everything is on the public ledger. So the excuse of money laundering things, actually through blockchain technology, this will actually clamp down on that even more, because once you digitize, there's a lot of companies that have something called, or when I say companies, exchanges and wallets that have something called a KYC, which is know your customer. So there is decentralization with cryptocurrency, but right now, most of the wallets and that people are engaging with in exchanges have a KYC where they have to identify themselves. But there's also a way to track where, even though it's anonymous through blockchain, the trust and transparency is anonymous, because like Vera said, there's a blockchain that is put onto the ledger, so you could see this transaction happen, but you don't necessarily know who initiated or who received that transaction. However, from a law enforcement point of view, if you start seeing a trend, if you can have a computer that can search for those certain blockchains and then relate that to surveillance information, meaning that everything we're doing now, we're doing over our phones. It's everything that we do is being collected. So if they want to find out who this anonymous person is that's funneling millions of dollars into this certain blockchain address, and maybe that address is then converting it into fiat, it's not too hard to kind of find out. So I personally dismiss the excuse of not being able to use the technology because of so-called negative influences. Because when you have cash is just as negative, because if somebody opens up the warehouse and drives in with a truck with $1 million in cash, the same type of situation can happen. But here in the United States, we have what's called a coin shortage. Okay, we're going into the supermarkets and things now, and they're telling you, please don't bring cash because we can't give you change because there's a coin shortage. Like, how did they, how was there a coin shortage? Then the other thing is last year during Christmas time, when people like to give crisp $100 bills inside a card for Christmas, the banks were alerting people that they're no longer printing, at that time, minting $100 in cash. So that's just to give you the heads up that things are going to be digitized. Why do you need paper when people are walking around with Google Pay? You could take your phone and just tap it, on a device at a merchant, and the information, everything is paid. So and so that's what's going to happen. Digitalization is going to happen because then they can turn it on and off when they want, so they have more control than if you deal in cash.
Correct.
Okay.
And we already seen it here. We can do national bank transfers, right? You don't have to deal with cash, just transfer digitally. We got the Digi Cash as well. So I think, adding to what Barton said, banks are looking to create their own forms of digital apps, and that's how they get the control. So that's how they do it. So by now saying, well, hey, look, they were trying to block the decentralized crypto payments, but now they're bringing out their own digital forms of payments because now they can say, well, we control this. So that answers your question as well. This is how they're going to try to make their money as well. They're going to try to create based on what the blockchain is doing, but they want to have control, so they create their own as well.
Okay.
Okay, so I just want to add that there are approximately about 30,000 different types of digital currencies out there right now. And as an individual, if you're going to buy cryptocurrency from what you call an exchange, a website that is authorized legally to buy and sell cryptocurrency, we go through the same things like when you're going into a bank to open a bank account. You have to have some form of ID. You would have to submit your name, your basic information, of course, and evidence, your driver's license. Sometimes some exchanges will take one form of ID. Some take your driver's license and passport, and they will tell you, okay, before we could grant you access to buying crypto or to have a crypto profile or portfolio, we will get back to you in a couple of days. Some take 24 hours. You submit your passport. I would think that they would go to wherever in your country or location to find out who you are, if you're a money launderer. And so these are the kind of security stuff that are in place when you're buying crypto. It's like simple. You're going into a bank, you have to show an ID to show that you're a real person. When you go to a bank and your ID expires, they will tell you they're not taking it. It's the same thing if you're going to buy crypto from an exchange and the ID is expired, they're not taking it. So that's a form of security that is what it's about. It's the same thing.
Okay. I think pretty much got the full gist of it. So, Auntie Tracy, you're gonna have to guide me along this thing, and make sure that I get a piece. Okay. My next question, and I got this question from somebody on my WhatsApp who's listening. They are asking about security in terms of hacking. Is this technology hackable? Will your coins be safe? Because it's digital, it's online. Can somebody hack your account or hack the whole system and bring it to its knees, or your money just disappear? How secure is that against hacking?
Yeah, okay. So I can kind of jump in there, and it's actually a lot safer than the bank. That's for sure. All right. And again, that explains why a lot of banks are switching to blockchain technology, right? The thing is, sometimes when the banks get hacked, you don't always know. They don't always tell you. People just see strange things happening, and then people kind of figure it out. But banks get hit a lot more often than they would ever really admit. You've got to remember with blockchain, one of the reasons that blockchain is so secure is because it requires a lot more by far more validation or verification from different individual points to do that. As a matter of fact, one of the things that you would get with let's say a crypto wallet where you store your crypto is you hear about private keys. Now, a key is like a set of random words, or could be random numbers, different, it's different based on what you're doing, but it's random. And even if a person were to somehow get into your wallet, and the only way that would happen is if you leave your information lying around, you give it to someone, or the wrong person. This is nothing different to if you go into you go into somewhere, you open up a laptop and you start to do your business, and then you leave your laptop open. Someone can access it. It's the same thing. You just have to make sure you secure your information just as good. But is by far harder to crack a wallet on blockchain than it is to crack a bank account or something else like that. So I wouldn't be too concerned about security. Security is very, very high. Because remember, even in sending transactions on blockchain, it has to be verified by multiple different independent verification points known as nodes, have no connection to each other, but everyone has to, or every point has to validate that transaction before it is confirmed and added to the chain. So it's much, much higher security than you would find in the traditional world. Hence why so many companies are switching to it. If it wasn't the case, again, and I go back to the ECCB Bank, why did they bring out Digi Cash? Why is Digi Cash built on blockchain technology? All right, speaks for itself.
In addition to that, with blockchain, you also have what you call a two-step authentication, which links your blockchain account to your telephone. So if it's the same thing like national banks, when you're using certain websites and you want to make a transaction, there's what you call an OPT number that the bank would generate for you to put into the website to approve the transaction, or the transaction will be denied. So you can use your telephone, link it to the blockchain account. In addition, there's also what we call a recovery passphrase. If you open a blockchain account, and by the way, I will encourage everyone to do so for starters, because that's the way I started, and you learn from there. You have a passphrase where if you can't remember your email address, you can't remember your password, from the time you open that blockchain account, they will tell you, please write down the 8-phrase recovery password. Don't give it out. So if you give it out, anybody could just go in and take your money. I have friends here who in 2017 who I encouraged to buy Bitcoin, and they did some buy like a $200 worth, and each, trust me, that is worth thousands now. And a few of them will come to me like, Daniel, I can't remember my password, and there's nothing I can do because I don't want to have people's information like that, because I could just go in and just, say, it is me and I can't remember the password, and just type in the 8 words. I think it's 8 words they give you, and just recover the funds. I either do it if I lost my password, I go in, type in the 8 words, and just the funds come back up. You will see all your transactions from over the years. So there's a lot of security. You have also second password, not just one. You could add 2 passwords. You could, if somebody wants, just in case you think if something is gonna happen to you, so they'll have that there. So it's a lot of double security on this. It's not just like a normal online bank account. To me, it's much more secure.
I think Barton, you had wanted to touch on that as well. You had wanted to hone in on that particular point.
I'm not seeing them on the call.
Oh, Barton was there.
All right.
Yeah.
I dropped out there for a second. I apologize.
Okay.
Internet over here giving licks, boy. Okay.
I don't know. You wanted to
Right.
say anything else about the security of having a blockchain account, or the security of the exchanges?
Well, I think what we can do now is to walk people how to first get an account. Like, what do they need to do? What website do they need to log on to? Do they need to contact you Ms. Mason, since that you're here in St. Kitts and Nevis, can they come to you directly? Would you like to give out your number? How could they get started with this, or even more information?
Yes, my number is 7631790. The website that you can go on to is blockchain.com. It's simple and you can learn as much as you want to. I mean, there's always Google. I can tell you a lot of what you need to know about blockchain. And I think Devere or Baton would also get into a bit of what we do again surrounding the blockchain community currently and how we're benefiting from being involved in this community.
Okay, so gentlemen, take me through the blockchain thingy.
The blockchain aspect of it really is that part is pretty straightforward. I mean, there's hundreds, thousands even of different options for creating a blockchain or a crypto wallet. Not really a blockchain account. Blockchain is more so the industry, yeah, or the technological world. But what you want, or what we're referring to more so, is a crypto wallet. And there's blockchain.com. There's Binance. There's a number of them. I mean, there's no one particular one. And not only that, different currency exchanges work better for different territories as well. And I know that there are people who might be viewing from different locations. There are different exchanges that persons can take advantage of that work pretty good, but some work better for different locations as well. One of the things, though, that I think we really want people to understand is the kind of opportunity that it brings. I mean, it's great to understand about the security of blockchain and the trust factor that comes with it. One of the things that I think all of us really want is that people kind of understand that, look, there's a tremendous amount of opportunity out there for the average person to actually create an income stream if they know what to do and what to look for, right? Mm-hmm. I've been online for full-time 12 years. But 21 years in total, all right? 21 years, I've not needed a job, fired my boss 5red my boss 12 years ago, but I've been in the industry of marketing for 12, full-time, right? 21 years full-time in the industry, full-time for 12. But one of the things that I found is there's a lot of people who, because they don't understand what they actually have around them, they don't realize that there's tremendous opportunity to create wealth. Tremendous. And I think that's one of the things that I've been focused on for years in trying to educate people on different ways that they can generate wealth, especially seeing the direction that the world is going. Because here's the reality, EK. I think you agree with this. Robots are taking over. AI is taking over. Mm-hmm. It's taking over. And I keep telling persons, you need to stop depending on one source of income. Jobs are not secure. People think jobs are secure until they're not. I was hoping that more people would have learned from 2020 when COVID kind of first reared its head. A lot of people lost their jobs, got laid off, bawling. You would think that since that happened, more people would have woken up and say, you know what? Maybe it's a good idea that I start paying attention to what's happening digitally or online, because ain't nothing secure right now. And if you add to that the situation where there's some folks who are going to be out of a job simply because, they don't want to put anything foreign in their systems, and they're threatening to lose their job, that's a whole other story. I don't even want to go there, because some folks may take that in a whole political. Look, man, I'm not going there. It's not, because it's not about that. But my thing is, but the reality is this: if you are a person who's in that situation where you don't want to do X or Y, and your livelihood is going to be threatened, then the question is, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Are you going to look for another job, or are you going to look for a income stream that makes more sense and that has more longevity, because jobs just aren't secure? That is where blockchain comes in again. And what we do, we're actually part of a community, all right? Because there's a lot of people who understand this, there's a lot of people who want to learn more about it. But I think I always say there's winners, there's losers, and there's persons who haven't yet discovered how to win. And I believe that is one of the things that, for myself personally, I know Janelle as well, I know Barton for sure, and many others who've joined us in the community. What we've been doing is educating persons not just on what blockchain is, but we've been showing persons ways that they can create long-lasting income. Like right now, I'll tell you this, EK. Like I said, I haven't had a job in 12 years, bro.
Wow.
I wouldn't know how to go work for someone right now. I wouldn't even know how to do that. I can't. I can't fathom that idea right now. Everything I make my income online. Right. Because I understand that everything is going digital. Crypto is the currency of the future. AI is taking over. A lot of jobs are going to be lost because they're not going to need people to do those jobs anymore. You're not going to need to pay 10, 15, or 20 people, but you could probably get one robot or two to do the same thing, and the robot ain't going to complain. They ain't going to give you no stress. They ain't going to give you no back chat.
And you ain't going to pay them.
They ain't going to ask you for a raise. You get what I'm saying?
No day off, no period pains, no maternity leave, nothing.
None of that. None of that.
So sorry, Auntie.
So people need to wake up.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
It's gonna take over, man. And that's what we gotta get. And that's what we are helping people do as well. So if there's folks out there who want to learn what we do, how we generate income daily, like right now we get paid every single day. You don't have to do anything. Literally, some days I just wake up at noon, 12 o'clock. Why? Because I can, right? And we are showing people how to do this. We've got people who've retired from work, like Barton. Shoot, Barton, I'll let you tell them how it's been going, man. Yeah, so that you guys can get an idea as to what.
Yeah, let's get Mr. Adams in here to tell me how this retirement thing go, because I get into that point, you know, sir.
Let it roll.
I think you need to unmute your mic, Barton.
Oh.
Barton is muted.
Hello? Not here. Oh, man.
We lost him?
We're not hearing him.
Oh.
He's speaking, but we're not hearing him. What? Is there anything? You want to try closing and coming back in? Will that help? Can you hear us?
I can hear you, Tracy, but somehow I'm not getting Mr. Adams.
I think he said he can hear.
Right, I'll kind of jump in here until Barton gets. I just tossed him a message, let him know that he's muted. We're not hearing him. But yeah, so basically what's been happening. Is we've got folks that have joined the community, and through what we're doing right now is we've got folks who've been able to pay off all their debt. We've got persons who are paying their rent, buying their groceries. We've got persons who have retired from work. Barton, he's been involved for a couple of months in what we're doing, a platform designed to do that and reward us. And he actually was able to triple his full-time income, triple it in just a few months. I have many other friends as well who joined us in the community, and right now, literally, they pay all their bills with through the information and rewards we're getting with our platform in blockchain. Even me myself, same thing as well. Like I said, all that we do is we spend time, we educate persons on what blockchain is and how it works, how to get involved. And the beautiful thing is there's so much ways out there if people only knew what to look for. I give an example, Ike. Everybody on this call right now has a bank account, most likely. Mostly everyone that's listening to this has a bank account. One of the things that I don't get is why, I don't know who's gonna come for me, man, because I was told, man, don't go too hard on the banks on this call. But unfortunately, I've always been the type to just be outspoken, right? So, but the reality is this: We put money on a bank, okay, and that money is there. And at the end of a year, after bank has taken our money, invested our money, loaned our money out, got massive returns and gains on our money from loans, from mortgages, and so on. The banks then turn around and have the audacity to pay us less than 1% at the end of a year. There's no way that is acceptable. And the thing is, then they still charge us for going to the ATMs, right? But here's the thing. There's opportunities out there where persons can safely be able to generate by far more than what they're getting on the bank. I personally don't really use banks. I unless I have something to do specifically, is the only time I would transfer and send funds to a bank account. A bank is just a place for storing funds. It's not a place for growing your wealth, for growing your income. And one of the things that we really try to educate persons on, especially, is growing your income. Don't just put it down and just leave it there, because you're not getting anything. It's just a place to store. People are so scared of investing in anything that they completely miss out on opportunities that could change their life.
So not financial technology. I mean, financial, nothing
They're
about.
not financially literate. Yeah, not financially literate, because we've never been taught about that. We've been taught how to be consumers.
Get a job, and then that's it. I mean, look at what happened with this whole pandemic thing. Plenty of persons out there had savings, and what has happened? The savings just decreased. Everything is just going out, and nothing is coming in as well. So,
But then let me ask you guys this important question, because let's say, for instance, I have about $5,000 in a fixed deposit, just sitting there, just roughly $5,000.
Right.
And I decided, okay, I want to get into cryptocurrency. So I become one of the members of the blockchain thingy, right? And then I begin to shop for a coin to invest into, a cryptocurrency. How much cryptocurrency can I get for my $5,000? And if I put that $5,000 into a cryptocurrency, what is the return rate like? Because we're talking about the banks only giving you 1 point something % for the year. But if I did that for cryptocurrency, right, less than, right? It's like the banks gonna come for you better behave yourself, So if you
I don't use them much, so they can't do nothing much.
They can't do nothing. All right, my lord, I got you. So if you take that 5,000, how much coins I could possibly get for that? What would be the value for my $5,000?
There's no white black and white answer for that. It depends on which coin you purchase.
Mm-hmm.
It depends, because think about it. I'll give you an example. In the platform that we are part of, so yes, we do blockchain, but we are part of a specific community that is geared towards rewarding us just for our participation, just being involved, right?
Okay.
You put that 5,000 in a fixed deposit on your bank or whatever. Let's be nice. Let's say that the bank did give you, 2% a year, which we know it's not going to happen. But they're going to give the bank even, let's give the bank 5% a year, right? Which you are never going to get from the bank. But let's assume that the bank did give you a whole whooping 5% per year. So you got 5,000, all right? 5,000, and you're getting 5% interest gain per year, okay? So if you take 5,000, multiply 5% of that, so you're looking at $250 in interest at the end of the year. It's never going to happen, EK. But for this example, let's assume that the bank was just that generous. 5,250. Now, let me compare that to one of the currencies that in this particular community that we are part of. Here's what happened. So that's a 5% gain. We have one of our currencies in January was worth 15 cents. January of 2021, 15 cents. So here's the thing, because we are part of the community, we get access to it before you even know about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before anyone in the public knows about it, we get access to it because we're part of the community.
Right.
And that was worth 15 cents in January of 2021. That same currency right now is worth about $1.82. Might not sound like a lot, but if you want a percentage, right? If you want a percentage on how much that growth was, well, that was actually 1,118% growth. That's in about 8 months. I'll pause for dramatic effect. Let that sink in. Let that marinate for a little bit. So
how much is that?
So the bank. This is just one of our coins. I'm not going to say which one it is. If you guys want information on that, you got to contact us, and then we can give you more information on how you can get into the community. So,
well, I hope you're going to do after this conversation because I call you one night.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yo.
That's all right. So you got 5% from the bank, which might be considered huge. One single of our currencies, right? January of 2021. I'm literally looking at the graph of it right now. 1,118% growth in 8 months. And I like to ask people, how much percentage did your money grow between January and September? It probably didn't go up. It probably went down. And this is just one. And most of our projects, many of our projects have had over 1,000% in growth. So this is why I keep saying, DK, people are not poor because they don't have opportunity. People are poor because they're not financially educated. They're not financially literate, or they're educated in just the traditional way of money, of how money is supposed to move. But money is not, or the way money moves now is not like how it would have been moving before, because everything is changing. We got NFTs. Just today, I was reading an article on a girl. She's in her teens, young girl, and she did about $4 million in just a few weeks selling NFTs, non-fungible tokens. People don't even have a clue what that is. The world is changing, and the kind of wealth that's being generated is absolutely ridiculous. What if I told you, EK, that right now, and I mean this, and this is not an exaggeration. What if I told you that right now, literally, where you're getting about, well, less than 1% on your whatever amount you have in there. I don't know how much tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands it is.
Hey, stop it. It's not much right now.
but you're getting right now about, I would go as far as saying 1%. Because I know in St. Kitts, the bank's probably a bit nicer than some other banks in other islands. I know National Bank is doing really, really good. Let's assume that it's 1%. Let's assume it's that. What if I tell you right now, I'm getting 1% every 2 days, where you're getting 1% a year. Every 2 days I get 1%.
0.5.
Same thing, 0.5% a day, 1% every 2 days. So every 48 hours, I get what it takes your bank to give you every year. And that's not an exaggeration. That is reality right now. That's fact.
So you're making money while you're sleeping.
Yes.
Warren Buffett said that if you work for money, right? If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to work your entire life for money. And you are never going to achieve financial independence unless you're in a position to make money while you sleep. So yes, I do. Literally, no exaggeration whatsoever. Every person that's part of our community right now, every single morning we wake up, there's money, there's I should say money, there's rewards, because in our community we don't deal with fiat. We don't deal with fiat currency. We deal with crypto, and then it's converted and we get rewards that we can convert back to crypto. So every single morning I wake up, I see more in my account than was there the day before. I don't have to do a single thing. And for those people who might be thinking this, no, I don't have to recruit anyone. I don't have to sign anyone up into anything. I don't have to do none of that. But every single day, I get 0.5%. I get 0.5%.
It's none of that.
You got to know what to look for, EK. It's the world is changing.
Auntie Tracy, I work with you because you got this man down here making all the money there, and you know you're struggling like a old papa,
Hey,
and you don't tell me nothing.
Listen,
I have been speaking about cryptocurrencies for years. I was
years
already about speaking about cryptocurrency. Oh, this is a scam. Well, I hush and I just do what I have to do. I mean, no, to me, I mean, having a job, a single job, it's not working because every day I go to the supermarket, I shop, I love to cook. And when I go to the supermarket, it's every week, even though I buy nearly the same things every week, it's more and more and more and more. So I had to find a way to make sure, well, you know, when that government salary they're done, something else they're coming in because how I gonna eat? I don't eat nonsense. Like, sorry, I'm very picky, very, very, very picky with my mouth. So I need to know that I got something coming in, and all I try to do is encourage others to do the same. I'm not forcing anyone. If you don't want to get in, I mean, it was Richard Branson saying somebody gives you an amazing opportunity. Instead of asking 1,000,001 questions, you take the opportunity, you learn how to do do it later. But a lot of people they just come, ask 1,000,001 questions, oh, and then the analysis, and then people end up getting paralysis by analysis because they're taking so long to get involved and find out what it needs to do to get on board. I mean, it's crazy.
Okay, give me a figure. Like, how much money would I need right now to get started in cryptocurrency?
Let's do it all like that. Go ahead, Livia. He said 5,000. Let me give you 5,000 from the community. Just give it.
Barton is back.
Are you there? Can we hear you?
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, sir.
Got
yes.
you, sir. Got you,
I
sir.
lost you for a bit, man.
Okay.
Be back.
So tell us about your experience in the community, and then Livia would give a figure.
Barton, you still with us?
It looks like his internet is
stuck. Why, your internet giving us licks all around.
Hear me?
Okay, Livia?
I hope I'm...
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. What was the question? I'm sorry.
Okay, we just want to know a bit about your experience in the community that we're in. I
okay.
Olivia to give
okay. Yes.
How he would
yes.
as compared to what he would get if he had the same figure in a bank.
Okay, it was still breaking up a little bit for me, but just to give my experience, I've been in this community since last December, and I was always looking for something that people could join, a community that they can join and earn while they learn, especially in the crypto space, and basically win every day, because there are many people who win every day in the crypto space. And in our community, our whole community wins every day. So I started sharing this with a cousin of mine in Barbados. Her name is Jasmine, because I knew I just wanted to reach out to, my heritage from Barbados. And she shared it with many people. And that's how we have Vera and Ms. Mason and people here with us today. Because from just that sharing and what the benefit that our community gives, we've been able to expand just our personal team within the community in over 30 countries. And so we're helping people win every day. We're helping people educate themselves, and we're helping people learn about May, where I retired from my current job, and because I was making 3 times the amount per day that I was making being employed. And I always look for something that could give me the freedom to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, where I want to do it, and with who I want to do it. And that's what blockchain and cryptocurrency, if you know how to utilize it in a way like we're discussing here, that you can give yourself income, and not only income for yourself, but legacy for you and your family. And that's been doing that for me now. And I'm just pleased to help as many people as I can all over the world. And that's exactly what has happened. It's a dream come true that I just couldn't have imagined. And it's happening with us. And it's not just from me, it's, you know, it's a community. So I hope you heard that.
I got as much as I possibly can, and I'm just in awe at how you guys are talking about how the sugar cake is flowing, and I could use another source of income because, as you know, I'm an entertainer, and entertainment is basically stunt right now. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know when it's gonna come back. They're still, you know, worried about Corona.
It looks like it never goes away. The internet industry is never going to catch itself back, and I hope that doesn't happen because, you know, you say we want you to be making some of this money as well. So, but Livier, if you would do the comparison with what he said to give him a figure.
Yes.
You start at the beginning, okay, let's see about 5,000.
All right. So yeah, sure. Let me do that. So you want it over a course of what? Let me. Yeah.
Man, walk me through it, man. You're trying to sell me this thing. I want to come in, you know. Let's go.
I'm not really trying to sell it to you. I'm just. Here's the thing. I'll see if I can pull up. I'll pull up a calculator and I'll tell you. But what I'll tell you is this: on your 5,000, we already said that you would get if you were getting 5%, right? It would put you at $250 a year in interest gain. All right. And what we are doing right now, if you were part of what we were doing, just not trying to pitch you, nothing, just telling you the facts as it is, and what you do is what you do. On that same 5,000, being that you would be getting, I mean, you're talking about 5,000 what, EC or US? That's a very important question. You're talking 5,000 EC or 5,000 US?
Okay, let me say US. Run it. Go ahead.
US. Okay. All right. So let's assume it was US. EK. So you get 5,000 US. You put that on a bank. You probably get about if they were doing 5%, about 250, which we know you're never ever going to get that much from the bank. But we were just being generous. Here, however, if you look at 5,000 and you do that at 0.5% a day, right? 5,000 at 0.5% a day is 25 per day that you're looking at. All right. So in 1 year, on the bank, if they were to do 5%, which they would never go that high, you would get 250 at the end of a year. Say 5,000 here. Let me see. Let me take this and multiply this by. Let's do this for 1 year. 25 by 365. 9,125. That is what you would. That is what you would have gotten, right? If at 25 per day is what you'd be getting. And you multiply by 1 year, you're looking at 9,125. That's a big difference. 9,125 doing what we do. And yes, we're intentionally being vague. We're not trying to do a whole presentation on here, right? Who wants that info could contact us. All right. The beautiful thing about it is, unlike a lot of stuff up there, we don't need people to join to get paid. That's it. That's a good thing, right? It doesn't matter. If people want to do it, we can show them how we do it. If they're not, that's fine. We get paid out either way. 9,125 and what we do, you put it on the bank, you get it 250. Do you understand now why for years I have a bank account. I hardly use it. Hardly. And another thing as well I forgot to mention, EK, because persons always wonder, how can I get this crypto off? How can I get this crypto back in cash? What if I want to use this and spend it? You know,
right? That's my question. Like, how do you convert that back?
Very easy, very easy. There's a number of ways. There's a number of different exchanges that have what we call crypto cards that allow you to transfer your crypto onto the card. Then you can withdraw that crypto in fiat, in cash. You can go to the ATM, you can withdraw it there. You can use the card, the crypto card, and you can swipe it like any normal MasterCard or Visa card. Pay for groceries, buy dinner, shop with it, use it at gas stations, any of that. Also, some exchanges you can convert to USDT, because you asked a question earlier about, it was something along the lines of the US dollar versus the crypto. And I meant to mention to you that there is a crypto that is the equivalent of the US dollar, but it's in crypto form. It's called USDT, which is US dollar tether, right? And that is pegged to the US dollar. It does not fluctuate like most coins, like Bitcoin is up and down, up and all over the place. It doesn't fluctuate. It is pegged to the United States dollar, so it's stable. You can convert your crypto to tether, then from tether to USD, US dollars, and then send it to your bank account like a normal bank wire. And now you can use your normal bank card to withdraw and spend and do whatever you would normally do. So getting crypto back to cash is not a difficult process. It's just that most people are not educated on what to do, on what to look for. So there's this people are scared, people are nervous. This new thing that is out there, this virtual money, because they grew up, all they knew was this physical cash.
Right.
But remember,
I think for me, though, because recently I would have gotten into the Cash App, and Cash App is an American thing. Yeah. So I got into that. So I get cash, but in order to get it out of there, you have to transfer it to a US bank. So I can understand that. And their transfer fees and what's not. So I understand the whole digital money thing. But you see, with Cash App, I'm receiving money. I don't have to buy anything. I don't have to give up anything per se. So I think that's where the fear comes from, is that I have to take the money that I've worked for and put it into something that I'm not too aware of in terms of how it fluctuates, how I get back my money. And so I think that is the thing that gets people, is that they have to take their money and put it over there that they are unsure of. So
yeah, it's just a conversion. And again, it will take time for people to get acclimatized to the new way of moving money and how money is transforming. That's expected. We don't believe that people are just gonna switch like that. But what we're trying to get people to understand is it's inevitable. It's like there was a time where vinyl records, that was the in thing. Then from that you had cassette records, that was the in thing. Then you had CDs, that was the end thing. Then you had iPods and iPhones and iTunes, and so if you look at how throughout history there's always been a progressive transformation from what is accepted to what is new, and there will be people who will always reject, and there are people who will, because of lack of understanding and education on the benefits of what is new, some people will criticize. But there will always be fear, right? We can't get away from that. But I think the key thing to take away from all of this is, outside of being fearful, don't let your fear handicap you, because this thing is happening fast. The decentralized finance industry, what is known as DeFi, it took 10 years for the DeFi industry to reach $1 trillion in volume. 1 trillion, right? Decentralized finance. It's called DeFi. So imagine this, 10 years to reach 1 trillion. It took 2 years. 2 years. So from 2019 to 2021, 2 years, the DeFi industry grew to 2.7 trillion. So what took 10 years to happen, 10 years to reach 1 trillion, happened between 2019 and 2021. It took 2 years to almost triple what it took 10 years to do. And I say that to say this: learn as you are, earn as you learn. If you are someone who is, you don't understand it, is new to you, you don't get it, That is why we do what we do. We educate people on what it is, how it works, why they need to be paying attention to it, how to get set up. But then while all of that is happening, we actually give persons a way that they can earn way more than any bank is going to offer. And of course, banks will never agree with what we're saying. EK, you said the banks going to come for me. You know why they will come for me? The banks don't want people becoming free, right? The banks don't want people. Banks do not want people to be free. Banks don't want people to be financially independent. If people ever woke up, if enough people ever woke up and decided, you know what, let's break free from the bank. What do you think is going to happen? The banks, it's all about control and money. The banks know that. Keep people enslaved, keep people locked in. Do you know what mortgage means? The Greek definition of the word mortgage, mort, death, and then gauge is translated like a grid. A mortgage is a death grid. People go into a mortgage and they're locked into that thing for their whole life until they die. Until they die, right? So we gotta understand that. Look, will there be a lot of FUD out there? FUD, FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That's what the media, that's what the government, that's what the banks want. They want people to be scared. They want people to be afraid. Don't invest. Because when people start to invest and people start to wake up and start to look for alternate sources of income, and they don't have to depend on a government or have to depend on a bank, guess what? People start to become free. The system starts to crumble. So yeah, they would come for me. Right? I've always been outspoken, brother. Listen, I've been doing this long enough, man. I say what I need to say.
Putting back the power in the people's hands, Little do a lot of us know that I think we had asked the question earlier, how does this affect trade? Little do a lot of us know that the banks and the government are the movers and shakers of the stock trade market, the forex market. They're the ones who, when they use our money to put it into those markets that affect how trade is going to go up or down, they're the ones who benefit. And meanwhile, the media is out there trying to scare us away from the little man from doing the same thing. If you're the government is made up of human beings. I'm a human being. Why can't I just do the same thing? It's not that difficult. This community that we're in, it's real. There are people in it. We have people here from Think It. That was in it even before we were. My friend here, I think Sherwin White, is on the live. He's telling me to talk about the card that we could use, which is a crypto card, to off instead of a normal. Everything is in place, but people are scared because they don't understand and they don't know. So I just want to encourage you guys out there to just get into what's going on. It's not that difficult.
All right. Well, lady and gentlemen, we are almost out of time. So as we are heading into our wrap up now, and of course, Tracy, I'll probably have you back for a segment at a later date so that we can get people connected to you. And if Mr. Wendt would want to touch base with people here in St. Kitts as well to offer a little training segment or whatever he can do, we can also get him on that. Mr. Adams, you as well. So as we wrap up, you could just give your final comments and, of course, your contact information as to how people can reach you to get more information about this.
Go ahead, Tracy.
Okay, so my contact information, you guys know me on Facebook. I go by Danielle Tracy. My telephone number is 763-1790. Again, I just want to encourage everyone to get on board. Out there, we're not trying to, I don't want to use the word beg, but we're not trying to thing that you don't want to. This community has proven, I don't put my face and my voice to anything, but this community that I'm involved in has proven to me to be one of the best, mostly because don't have to recruit. You don't have to run out there and try to convince whether anybody just, if you don't contact me when I get up by 12, 1 o'clock tonight, I can check my account and I get paid. Simple, But if you want to tap into these courses that we know about, we can also guide you and let you know what to do. Like I said before, it's not difficult, and I'm willing and able. If you want to contact me, feel free to do so, and I'll be able to, and if I don't have the answer to something, I can always ask Barton or Coach Vera Olivier to assist me.
All right. Barton, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
All right. I was able to get on my computer. So, yeah, I would suggest that people get in touch with Tracy, because she's leading on this part of the team for me. But what I would close out with is that people just keep an open ear, an open eye. As she said, we're a community that welcomes you if you decide you would like to get in contact with us. But if not, you will start to see, just by the things we were mentioning, you'll start to see news flashes that will sort of start connecting the dots with you. You'll start to see companies talking about it. You'll start to see people on your Instagram pages, your Facebook. This thing is here and it's moving forward. And so just reach out, get the information you need to move forward. And it's not scary. Trust me, it's not scary. What's scary is if that you decide you're trying to move too fast or take your life savings and say, well, I'm going to just, put everything into crypto and live like that. Just take it one step at a time and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. But not to entice you or anything, but our community is one of the largest blockchain alliances in the world.
Yep.
And so, check us out, and we'd love to share what we're doing.
Yeah, and
Thank you
just
so much
to
for
close
chatting.
up again, I pretty much agree with what Tracy said and what Barton said as well. Don't let fear hold you back. The world is changing. The way that money is moving is changing. And the reality is you do not have to settle for what you're getting right now with the banks. I think it's downright an insult, to be quite honest, to give a person that kind of return at the end of the year. That's insulting. I don't know why people stand for it, but hey, so if you're interested in learning about what we do, how we do it, and how we are able to generate more in 48 hours than majority of the population gets in a year in terms of percentage gain, then if you want to find out how we were doing that and how 600,000 other members across the globe are benefiting and earning on a daily basis without having to recruit anyone, sign anyone up, get anyone to join anything, no monthly fees. If you're interested in something like that, feel free to reach out to us. Tracy, you got Tracy's information. I'm here in St. Kitts as well. Number 760-1568. In case you don't reach her, you can reach me. If you don't reach me, you can reach her. All right, 760-1568, and we pretty much work together on that angle. And do something different. At the end of the day, guys, nothing ventured, nothing gained. But and if you're uncomfortable, good. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Right? That's where things start to happen. And that's pretty much it for me, man. Appreciate you for giving us the time here at EK to speak, to share some information, some education, and hopefully it opens the eyes of someone who's listening that they decide to do something a little different so that they can have a much better life. Because trust me, COVID is just a dress rehearsal. The worst is yet to come. And if people don't wake up, they're gonna be sorry.
All right. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much. This has been an eye opener for me. I've heard about the cryptocurrency, the blockchain community for quite some time now. Somebody tried to get me to come on board, but at the time I was doing so good in entertainment that I thought I didn't need anything else in life. But boy,
always have a plan B, brother.
Was
a plan B.
Rasta, was I wrong? So I definitely will be contacting you guys to get on board with this, and I hope that our viewers as well will look into a different source of income, get themselves affiliated with this, and so they too can be a part of this community. So, guys, have yourself a great evening, and if needs be, we're gonna have a part two.
Thank you,
Sounds
Professor.
like a plan, man.
All right, take care of
Thank you.
yourselves and have a pretty good evening. So, we're gonna move right along, and we're gonna close out our show for this evening, and we hope that all you folks out there enjoyed our conversation this evening. It was indeed an eye opener, and as I told you before, this was the basis of a lot of the conversation on the media this week as to how people could reinvent themselves, refocus their energies, refocus their investments, and have different sources of income. That's what I've been working on, and this is what led me to start Let's Get Real. And so I would encourage folks out there, if you want to become a partner or sponsor, or if you want to donate to us, you can do so. We would greatly appreciate it. You can email me at letsgetreal21@gmail.com. You can hit me up 663-2354, or you can give me a call at 764-6555, and we can give you an advertisement spot here on Let's Get Real. Or if you just want to drop us a donation, we have Cash App. It's Real Right EK, capital R's and capital E. And of course, if you have PayPal, it's Real Right EK again, common R, capital E. That's our PayPal if you want to drop us a little something in the bucket. Shervin, you in cryptocurrency? Send me a crypto coin, my land. All right. So, folks, again, thank you so much for joining us. And I hope that the information that we shared here this evening serves as an eye-opener, that we can wait on the government all we want to have a plan, but you yourself must have a backup plan. Different sources of income, and online is the way to go. I'm just saying. You heard from our guest this evening, and so it will be in your best interest to get that up and running. I am myself, I'm doing that. As you know, entertainment is still in a lull because the powers that be are of the mind that somehow entertainment spreads the coronavirus. And if you get the coronavirus, you ultimately die, which is really and truly a lie. There's a 99% recovery rate. Those people who have complications from that, they had underlying conditions. And so that's what it is. And we just have to be frank and call it for what it is. If you feel as though you are so scared of this virus, there are ways and means to protect yourself. There's wearing of your mask, sanitizing of your hands, social distancing, and of course, there is the vaccine. We currently have the Oxford AstraZeneca, and we also have the Pfizer vaccine. And at the rate at which these people in the Caribbean are going, they're making it very difficult for you, because if you're not vaccinated, they're classing you as a second-class citizen, and so they're treating you as though you're walking around with something deadly inside of you, even though that cannot be proven just by looking at you. But nevertheless, they're making it very difficult for you to either keep a job, get a job, or go certain places and enjoy certain things, because everybody's just scared of coronavirus. So you just have to act according, okay? So again, the measures are out there. If you want to keep yourself safe, that is what you have to do. I think that's going to do it for me here this evening. Thanks again for all those who tuned in. Those of you who posted your questions. Somebody says EK came in late. I were helping your grandchild with schoolwork. Yeah, man, that's good. It's a Sunday night, you got to help the kids with their schoolwork. Tyrell says you hold all your earnings. Yes, there you go. You keep most of your earnings. Once you make it online, it's yours, unless you have to, transfer it back, but you heard that there are many ways to transfer it back and use your account without the fees. The fees is what killing us. Imagine you're paying somebody to hold your money. Well, they're using your money to make money and then giving you back a little boop, drop in the bucket. I mean, I'm not sure how many of you heard Mia Motley, and I'm beginning to have a deep love for this lady and the way that she speaks about helping people. Mia ultimately says that the banks, who's supposed to be the ones that you go to borrow money. Like, for instance, you want to take a loan to build a home, and the bank is asking you for $20,000 up front, and they're asking you for this, and they're asking you for that, and asking you for all kinds of things. Well, Mr. Bank, if I had $20,000 put down with nothing to do with it, I would not come to you, come ask you nothing. I'd take me $20,000, go up by Hospital TDC, start an account, and start to buy blocks and steel and whatever, and cement and so, and me bridging them get together and we build me house and we gone. But the mere fact that I got $20,000 just put down there with nothing to do, that's why I come to you. Who got it? This is to put down. And then they're going to put out this ad about vehicle loans. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody got to do something to make a little money. But me no want a loan on a vehicle. For the minute you drive a vehicle out of a parking, out of the parking lot, the showroom, at least 20% of the value, they're gone. You hear? That's on a vehicle. I don't want a loan on a vehicle, Rasta. Give me a loan to go build an apartment, a studio apartment, something about the place. That's what I want a loan for. So I could rent it out and make a little money off of it. You understand? That's what we want loans for, my lord. Give me a loan, let me go invest in some equipment, invest in something. But in order to go do that, the bank them stressing you out. They want all kind of things. But here, you could drive from by the showroom. For until you drive it out, 20% they're going to depreciate. You could go down the road and get in an accident and write it off. And you still got the loan to pay as if the insurance can cover it. And the insurance got to do all kind of things saying if you're going to get back the money. So it's like they're making it difficult for you to get certain things in life unless you got money. And so people have to find alternative ways of making money and keeping most of their monies. Let's just call it for what it is. Find different means of making money. Now I'm going on a rant, and if I start a rant, I'm going to end up and abuse somebody, and I don't want to have to do that this evening. So again, folks, please donate to us or call us up if you want to. You have an odd spot here on Let's Get Real. If you want to be a guest, of course, and you have something to promote or you want to share some information, you can hit us up, drop us an email, let's get real 21@gmail.com, and we will be responding to you as quickly as possible to get you lined up and on the show. So, folks, I bid you adieu. Have yourself an enjoyable remaining Sunday evening, and hope that you will say your prayers and you will be off to bed very soon because we got to work tomorrow. For those of us who have a job, though, those of you who ain't on a job, I don't know what you're going to do tomorrow. But whatever it is that you do, please be safe. Be well. Goodbye.